How to know when to flip inequality signs. Imagine you're solving a puzzle where the pieces are numbers and the signs tell you how they relate. Sometimes, you need to change the direction of the relationship to keep everything true. That's what flipping an inequality sign is all about. When working through inequalities, the key moment to flip the sign happens when you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number. This rule is simple but super important to get right. Let's think about what inequalities do. They compare two values, like saying one is less than or greater than another. If you add or subtract the same number from both sides, the inequality stays the same. If you multiply or divide both sides by a positive number, the sign also stays the same. But if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, the sign must flip. This is because multiplying by a negative reverses the order of the numbers on the number line. Here's a simple way to remember it. When you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, think of it as flipping the number line. For example, if you start with 3 less than 5, written as 3 is less than 5, and then multiply both sides by -1, you get -3 and -5. Now, -3 is actually greater than -5, so the sign flips from less than to greater than. This keeps the statement true after the operation. When solving inequalities, always check if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number. If you are, make sure to flip the inequality sign. For example, if you have -2 times a number is greater than 6, written as -2 times a variable is greater than 6, divide both sides by -2. Since you're dividing by a negative, flip the sign. So the solution becomes the variable is less than -3. Remember, the flip is only needed during multiplication or division by a negative number. If you're adding or subtracting, or multiplying or dividing by a positive number, the inequality sign stays the same. Always perform the same operation on both sides to keep the inequality balanced. This way, your solutions will be correct and reliable. So, in summary, whenever you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, flip the inequality sign. This rule helps you find the correct solution set of the inequality, which shows all the possible values that satisfy the relationship. Keep this in mind, and solving inequalities will become much clearer and easier to handle.